See, the ulama of Islam, Saudi ulama, they share with us a story of a king and Malik al-Maut. And it's an example. So they say this king once decided to tour his kingdom and see what he wants to dress for the day. He ordered out his stately robes and was presented a suit, but he did not like what he saw. He then called for another and still another, and after rejecting so many, he found one that he liked. He wore this most elegant suit, and he ordered his men to get him a horse. A fine horse was brought to him, but he did not like it and sent it back. Then two more horses were presented to him, one after other, but he did not like them either. At last, the whole stable of riding horses was brought before him, and he selected the best out of all the horses. So the king then got on top of the horse. Then the shaitan infused pride and vanity into his mind, and he rode off proudly, followed by his men attendants and armed men. But the king was too full of disdain to take notice of them. As he rode his horse, he saw an old man, dressed in rags. He greeted him, but the king paid no attention to this old man. At this, the old man took hold of the horse's bridle. The king flew into rage and said to him threateningly, "Off with you! How dare you catch hold of my horse's reins?" The old man said, "I have some business with you." The king said, "Be patient and wait till I come back, then I shall have time to listen to whatever you have to say." The old man said, "I must say it just now." And saying this, he gave a violent tug to the bridle and snatched it away. The king said, "Well, what do you want to say? Huh?" The old man said, "It is a secret. I must whisper it in your ears." Then the old man said to the king, "Bow your head down so I can whisper it into your ears." So the king bowed his head, and the man whispered into his ear, "Hey, Ana Malik al-Maut. I am angel of death. I was ordered to come and take your soul." And then of course the king turned pale, and his voice quivered. He had this low tone of voice, and he said in a flattering voice, "Could you give me a brief respite to go home, meet my people, and arrange my affairs?" Then the Malik al-Maut said, "No, you shall have no respite. Never again shall you meet your kinsmen or wear your positions." Saying this, the angel pulled out the soul from his body, and he fell down from the horse like a log of dry wood. Subhanallah. So what we learn from this example is no matter how big you think you are, and no matter how much money you have, and no matter how much of the best you have, know that one day you will die and leave everything behind you. The rich and the poor are the same in the grave. Of course, listen to this very closely. The rich and the poor are the same in the grave. But of course, whoever has iman in his heart and prayed and did whatever Allah Azza wa Jal ordered him to do, his grave side will expand as far his eyes can see, and light will be in his grave. Okay? And a taste of bliss from Allah Azza wa Jal will be his reward before he enters Jannah. But if his iman is weak, then bad news for such a person. Wal-'iyadu billah. We ask Allah to safeguard us. His grave will get tight on him, and it will squeeze him till his bones are crushed, and darkness will be his grave, and punishment will be his reward.